Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you came back to our special podcast on Let's Talk. Before we begin, I invite you to take a slow breath in and gently let it out. And as you settle into this conversation, I want you to know that this episode is for the men who have been carrying too much for too long, and for the people who love them and want to understand them better. So let's take that deep breath in and gently letting it out. Inhaling and exhaling. Today, I want to talk about a group of people who are often expected to be strong, capable, dependable, and resilient. Men. Not all men have the same experiences. Not all men struggle in the same ways. But there are certain pressures many men carry that are rarely talked about openly. And because they are rarely talked about, they are often carried alone. This episode is not about blame. It's not about comparing struggle. It's about understanding. Because when we understand, we create space for healing. And I believe many men need that space now more than ever. So as you listen, you may notice yourself recognizing certain patterns, certain pressures, certain quiet burdens. And if you do, just allow that recognition to be there. No judgment, no pressure, just awareness. Because awareness is often the first doorway to change. Now, from a young age, many boys receive messages about what it means to be a man. Some messages are spoken. Others are implied. Be strong, don't cry, handle it, figure it out, protect others, be useful, be productive, be the one people can rely on. And over time, these messages can become deeply embedded. They can shape how a boy sees himself, how he handles pain, how he responds to stress, and how he measures his own worth. Many men grow up believing that their value comes from what they provide, what they achieve, and how well they handle pressure. So they learn to perform strength, they learn to stay composed, they learn to keep going even when something inside them is tired, overwhelmed, or quietly asking for rest. As a result, many become incredibly capable. They solve problems, they take responsibility, they support others, they keep going. Even when they are struggling, and sometimes especially when they are struggling. Because for many men, stopping feels unsafe, slowing down feels unfamiliar, and asking for help can feel like admitting defeat. The challenge is that carrying responsibility without emotional support can become incredibly heavy. Many men become experts at functioning while suffering. They continue showing up to work, paying the bills, supporting their families, meeting obligations, holding everything together. All while carrying stress, anxiety, disappointment, loneliness, and fear beneath the surface. The world often sees their performance. Few people see the pressure. And that pressure can, when left unspoken for too long, can begin to shape a man's body, mind, relationships, and sense of self. Why do you think so many men are exhausted within? When people hear the word exhaustion, they often think of physical fatigue. But what about the emotional exhaustion, which can be as draining? Sometimes even more so. Because emotional exhaustion doesn't always look dramatic. It can look like irritability, numbness. It could look like withdrawal. It can look like a man who is still functioning, still working, still showing up, but inside feels like he's running on fumes. Many men feel responsible for everyone around them. Their partner, their children, their parents, their finances, their future, their reputation, their stability, their ability to keep life moving forward. And while responsibility itself isn't the problem, constantly carrying responsibility without rest can become overwhelming. Some men haven't truly relaxed in years, not because they don't want to, but because their nervous system doesn't know how. They've spent so long in problem-solving mode that stillness feels uncomfortable. Silence feels strange. Rest feels almost suspicious. Because when a man has lived for years in survival mode, his body can begin to believe that peace is temporary and pressure is normal. Many men live with a constant internal question. What happens if I stop? What happens if I pause? Or if I let go for a moment? What happens if I don't have the answer? And that question keeps them moving along after their body and mind need rest. If this is you, I want you to hear this gently. You are not weak because you are tired. You are not failing because you need rest. You are not less of a man because your system is asking for relief. Sometimes exhaustion is not a sign that you are broken. Sometimes it is a sign that you have been strong for too long without enough support. There is another layer to this conversation that often goes unnoticed. When something painful happens in a man's life, many men don't necessarily stop functioning. They keep going for work. They keep paying the bills. They take care of the responsibilities. And from the outside, it may look like they are coping. But coping and healing are not always the same thing. Many men were never taught how to process emotional pain. So instead, they learn how to distract themselves from it. Some throw themselves deeper into work. Some spend more time scrolling, gaming, or watching television. Some rely on alcohol and smoking. Some keep themselves constantly busy so that they can avoid being alone with their thoughts. And while these things can temporarily relieve stress, they do not necessarily remove the pain underneath. The pressure is still there. The grief, the fear, the uncertainty is still there. It's simply waiting quietly beneath the surface. And over time, carrying unprocessed emotions can become exhausting. Not because a man is weak, but because a human mind and body were never designed to carry that much weight alone. What many people don't realize is that beneath the surface, many men are living with a constant internal pressure. The pressure to succeed, to provide, to get ahead, to make enough money, to create security for the family, to not fall behind. The expectations keep increasing, the responsibilities keep growing, and yet many men continue carrying it quietly because they believe that's simply what they are supposed to do. One of the most significant challenges many men face is tying their identity to achievement. Society often celebrates men for what they accomplish, their career, their income, their status, productivity, their ability to provide, and so much more. And when those things are going well, it can feel like life is aligned. But what happens when those things change? What happens when a career ends? A layoff occurs, a health issue emerges, a title disappears. For many men, these moments are not just professional challenges, they become identity crises. Because if your worth has been connected to what you do, losing that role can feel like losing yourself. A man may still be alive, still capable, still intelligent, still valuable. But if he has spent decades believing that his value lives in his output, then a change in work can feel like a collapse of meaning. And many men don't know how to talk about that loss. Because how do you explain that the thing you built your life around no longer feels like it's enough? How do you admit that success, once it arrives, does not always bring peace? How do you say out loud that you are not sure who you are without the role you have played for so long? These are not small questions, these are soul-level questions, and they deserve compassion, not shame. For many men, life can begin to feel like a constant balancing act. There are responsibilities to their partner, their children, their aging parents, responsibilities for work, financial stability, and somewhere in the middle of all of that, there is often a version of themselves with dreams, aspirations, passions, goals that have been patiently waiting for attention. Sometimes those dreams get postponed for years, sometimes decades, not because they don't matter, but because survival and responsibility came first. And eventually, many men find themselves asking, when is it my turn? What happened to the things I wanted? Where did I go in the middle of taking care of everyone else? This may be one of the most important conversations we can have. Many men are lonely, not because they are surrounded by no one, but because they often have very few places where they feel emotionally safe. Many people have friends, work colleagues, acquaintances, people they can joke with, they can talk sports with, they can solve problems with, but very few people with whom they can honestly say, I'm struggling, I'm scared, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what to do, I feel lost. Some men haven't had a deeply vulnerable conversation in years. Not because they don't need one, because they don't know where it would be welcomed. And loneliness doesn't only come from being alone. It comes from feeling unseen, unheard, feeling like nobody really knows what's happening inside. A man can be surrounded by people and still feel emotionally isolated. He can be admired and still feel invisible. And when loneliness goes unspoken for too long, it can begin to harden into disconnection. Disconnection from others, from the body, from hope, from joy. This is why emotional safety matters so much. A lot of times, a man's silence is misunderstood. It isn't always that he doesn't care. It isn't always that he doesn't want to communicate. Sometimes he's just carrying so many thoughts, worries, responsibilities, and fears that he doesn't even know where to begin. He may genuinely want to explain what is happening inside him, but he may not have the language. He may not fully understand it himself. And when a man begins to learn that asking for help does not diminish him, something profound can happen. Something incredibly important happens. His world can begin to open. His relationships can deepen, his stress can soften, and he can begin to experience a different kind of strength, a quieter strength that is steady, a strength that does not need to prove itself every second of the day. One thing I frequently observe in coaching is that anger is rarely the whole story. Under anger, there is often hurt, disappointment, fear, grief, shame, loneliness, helplessness. But many men learned that anger was the safest emotion to express. Sometimes anger is the body's way of saying something hurts. I don't know how to carry this. Please notice me. And when men learn how to understand the emotions beneath the anger, profound healing can begin. Because once the deeper feeling is named, it no longer has to hide behind force. It can be processed and released. And that release can feel like finally setting down a weight you didn't realize you had been carrying for years. Many men reach a point in life where something shifts. They begin asking questions they never asked before. Is this the life I wanted? Am I happy? What really matters? Who am I beyond my responsibilities? What do I want from the next chapter? What have I been avoiding and silencing? Sometimes people call it a midlife crisis, but often it isn't a crisis at all. It's an awakening. So let's call it the midlife awakening. A moment when external success no longer answers internal questions. A moment when a man realizes that achievement alone cannot create fulfillment. And while these periods can feel uncomfortable, they can also become powerful opportunities for growth, healing, and reinvention. Imagine being expected to manage emotions without being taught the emotional skills. Many boys are taught how to succeed, how to compete, how to perform, achieve, win, stay composed, how to communicate vulnerability. Very few are taught how to navigate emotional pain, how to ask for support, how to self-soothe during difficult moments, how to sit with discomfort without shutting down, how to name what is happening inside. And when those skills aren't developed, emotional struggles don't disappear. They simply go underground. And then they show up as stress, anger, irritability, burnout, relationship difficulties, physical tension, etc. Perhaps it's time to redefine strength. Strength is not pretending everything is fine. Strength is not carrying every burden alone or suppressing emotions, not ever needing anyone. Real strength might look like having difficult conversations, being honest about your struggles, asking for help, taking care of your mental health, allowing yourself to rest, and learning how to treat yourself with the same compassion you often give others. Real strength is not about becoming harder, but it's about becoming more honest, more grounded and connected, more willing to face what is true, quietly, consistently, authentically. If you are a man listening today, I want you to know something. You do not have to earn your worth. You do not have to prove your value through exhaustion. You do not have to carry every burden alone. And you do not have to struggle in silence. You're allowed to be tired, to be uncertain. You're allowed to need support. You're allowed to heal. The strongest thing you may ever do is allow yourself to be fully human. Not perfect, not invincible, human. And if you're someone who loves a man, a husband, son, brother, father, partner, or a friend, perhaps this conversation offers a reminder that behind the strength you may see, there could be pressure that you cannot see. So maybe today is a good day to check in, to listen more closely, to ask a gentler question, to create a safer space. Because sometimes healing begins not with a grand breakthrough, but with one honest conversation. And if this episode resonated with you, and you know that you or someone who you love has been carrying silent pressure for far too long, this is exactly the kind of work I support clients with. I work with clients one-on-one, and you could be one, helping people release emotional weight, helping them reconnect with self-worth, helping them feel safe in their own minds and bodies again, helping them move from survival into something steadier, calmer, and more aligned. Thank you for joining me for this important conversation that needed to be had. Until next time, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and remember, strength does not mean silence. Let's redefine what strength means. Bye.